That's how you learn to act. They showed you how to hold a spear. They saw you weren't holding it right, and they showed you how to hold it. That's how you learn to hold a spear, and eventually how to play Hamlet. You are not so lucky. You only think you are because you've been fed dreams of actors being discovered at drugstore counters. But even if that dream did come true, if you shot right to the top, you'd be the poorer actor for never learning how to hold that spear. And you'd never know why either. Carrying a spear makes you a different person. You have to see what it means to carry a spear at that time. Today, there's no reason to carry a spear, or no longer the same reason. In other times, there were extremely important reasons for it and for doing it right. Was it for a great ceremony? Was it for warfare? You must understand those reasons. This is the essence of our job as actors. Today, you can start not holding the spear, but on top. Today, we have instant actors. You can start by being the lead. You can start anywhere they want you to start. This is an absolutely new phenomenon. Nobody took you out of a drugstore and said, "Play D'Artagnan." You were in a company. You played a young man. Maybe you played an old man. You played a little comedy, a little drama. Nobody who played Falstaff could also play Romeo. By being in such a company, everyone found his scale. Today's actors don't have this priceless resource. You and your scale are an unknown quantity. The only way you can learn your scale, that you can learn your job quickly, because that is what acting demands of you today, is through a studio, a school. Now, there is a certain snobism today that says you don't learn acting by acting. They think you have to learn acting in a classroom. Well, I learned acting by acting, but that's over. There are people who travel the country by covered wagon. That's over too. The classroom is not ideal, but it's all you have. And so here you are. You're here to learn a tradition that goes back 2 millennia. The theater has roots that go back to ancient Greece. The stream of dramatic literature runs from the Roman to the Elizabethan, to the Jacobean to the Restoration, to the French Renaissance to the Romantic period, to Ibsenian realism and naturalism, and leading to the Gulf of the 20th century. The tradition embraces all the regional and national characteristics, all the languages, all the shifting, changing styles, the different periods of time, the different levels of society, the mores and morals of passing years, the cut of clothing from generation to generation, the different furnitures, the very sound of the music in the air, the evolution that has changed the earthenware mug into a paper drinking cup. This is the inheritance of the actor, the theater student of today. It's an awful lot of words to use to the actor, but somehow he must be made aware. The young actor today tends to belittle. He seeks to protect his little emotion as he sits comfortably in his little chair, in his little blue jeans, and stares at his little world that extends from right to left. He has confined himself to the beat of his generation only, bounded himself within the limits of his street corner, and alienated himself from every object or period that doesn't contain his pulse. The result of this is a disrespect for the world in general, and a foreignness to anything around him that isn't immediately recognizable to his everyday habits. He has even begun to lose perspective on what his own assets and faults are, because he has nothing to measure these things against. It is time to take the blindfold off. You come from different parts of society, from different neighborhoods. The thing that leads you here at this moment is that you have talent. Take my word for it. The thing that makes you say, "I want to do something," that is the beginning of talent. What is important and what you must always remember is that you had the courage to find the way, the grown-up sense to call up, to fill out an application, to find your way down here to me. Now say, "I have 1 credit on my side." Don't give that up for anybody. It is something you have done. In your society, where they tear down old buildings and put up new ones, Many of you are going to...
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.